What is good, everybody? I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. As you guys come in, please make sure you let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me well. That's the most important things. Before we get into the whole conversation, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So I'm gonna give it, a minute or two. Let everybody kind of come in, chime in. As you guys are coming in, let me know where you guys are listening from. I'm currently in Florida, so you already know everything is dope in Florida. So, all right. Making sure you guys can hear me good. All right, and while I'm doing this, I'm just pulling up some different tabs here. Let's go ahead and pull up groups. Make sure I can see the folks that's coming in from the groups. All right, cool. As you guys are coming in, I ask that you let me know if you guys can hear me well, if you can see me well, if everything looks smooth before we get into the topic at hand. The topic at hand is going to be smart habits, better life, establishing routines for success. So that's going to be the topic for today, or the topics. And then, I mean, if you guys have come to my lives before, we kind of get into a whole bunch of other random stuff that we just kind of chop it up and talk about. But that's going to be the main topics that we're going to be going through. Just your everyday habits, establishing routines and things of that nature. I appreciate it, Athena, I believe, Miss Wynn. I can hear and see you perfectly. Thank you. Chantel, hi there. I can hear and see you perfectly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Where are you guys listening from? Are you guys here in Florida? Are you guys somewhere else? Let me know where you guys are chiming in from. At about the 2 minute mark now. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into some of the topics I want to talk about. I want to really talk and dive into just your everyday habits, what you guys have going on, how you set your routines up, what your daily routines look like, your morning routines, how you're able to fit certain things in with your work schedules and different things like that. That's what we're going to be discussing today. Listener from Chicago. That's what's up. How's the weather out there in Chicago? I'm sure it's probably still cold. I know when I lived in Kansas City, it was always cold. I feel like that was the first time I saw negative temperatures, which was insane to me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it was actually negative temperatures. I thought people stopped working when it was negative, but not in Kansas City. You still work. So it was one of those things that kind of caught me off guard. But all right. So we're at about the 3 minute mark. So I'm going to get into the topics. It's been up and down. Let's see. It says it's been up and down. It was 70 yesterday and it's 30 today. That's crazy. That's kind of like how it is in the southeastern part of the United States as well. So Georgia, Florida is always like that. So we're in the morning. Like I think it was 82 today, but it'll probably be like, I don't know, 40 at night and then get a little lower. So it's always like that here. So it was crazy. Listener from Chicago, I appreciate you guys tuning in and let me know that you guys can hear me and see me clearly. All right, so as many of you guys know, what I do is I like to go live. I like to discuss different topics, but as a content creator, I want you guys to understand that if you're trying to create content, if you're trying to monetize your content, it's important that you get on and you talk and you have your thoughts expressed, because with this live, I'm always telling you at the beginning, with every live that I do, I end up cutting it up into like 20 or 30 clips that I can share throughout the week. So some people may not tune into this entire live, they may not watch the whole thing, but those clips will catch attention and it's content. So you're feeding the algorithm. So it's building up a repetition and a routine that, the algorithm is getting comfortable with. So like social media networks are getting comfortable with. Your video may perform better on YouTube, or it may perform better on TikTok, or it may perform better on Facebook, or whatever the case, Instagram. But the point is to constantly put content up. You never know what content is going to pop, what content is going to go viral, what content is going to bring you the audience. At the end of the day, you want to have your library intact when it comes to content creation. Let's see. Somebody said, wow. I guess we was talking about the weather probably. Oh, yeah, okay. That was Chantel. I was talking about the weather. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. So I want to hear what some of you guys' routines are daily. I'm going to talk through it, and I'm going to give you guys some pointers and some thoughts that I have on my own routines and what I do currently, but I really want to hear what you guys do. What is your morning routine like? So when you guys wake up in the morning, what's that routine look like? How are you setting aside time every single morning? Do you get up and you go straight to work, or do you have a routine before you go to work, or do you not have to work at all? I mean, are you an entrepreneur, you're a business owner? How does that look for you in the mornings? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me see who just joined. Candy, good evening. Thank you for joining the live. I appreciate it. But comment, let me know how your routines are currently. Let me know how your morning routines are. So for me, I'll give you guys a little backstory while you're commenting and sharing your thoughts, and we're going to discuss it. For me, I initially started to wake up earlier in the morning based off of work. So when I worked, I actually would wake up and basically I would have to immediately go to work because it was an early morning shift. I had to get there early. So what I started doing was I said, you know what? I'm tired of feeling like I'm waking up just to work. So I started waking up earlier. And this is when I was like 22. When I was 22 years old, I said, you know what? I'm going to wake up at 5:30. And from 22 until now, I've been waking up at 5:30 every morning, whether I had to go to a place or I didn't have to go to a place. So I started out my routine with, I want to wake up earlier so I can feel like I'm waking up for myself. And in between that, my routine and my habits have changed a lot. But I want you guys to comment and tell me what your routines and your habits are. I'm going to post them on the live and we're going to talk about it. But I'm just really curious on how, when you wake up in the morning, what routine do you have? How are you preparing yourself for the day? So the first thing you're doing when you're waking up is getting on, let's say, social media. It's probably not the best thing for you when you first wake up in the morning because you're not reinforcing your mind. You're not building a foundation to prepare for what's to come. So social media has a lot of good, it has a lot of bad, it has a lot of toxic. And if you're feeding yourself this, the first thing you wake up in the morning, you're basically setting yourself up to be susceptible to different energy. But if you wake up, and let me see, we got a couple people commenting here. I actually want to touch on some of these. So let's see what this is. I listen to gospel music. Let me see. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Because interestingly enough, on StreamYard, it doesn't actually allow me to see the names of the people who comment in my Canon Movement group, which is so strange. But so someone said, I listen to gospel music, then I go to work on my business after work. And I think it's excellent. I think it's a great way to start your morning. I think it's a great way to get your routine started and get your mindset in the right way. I mean, you're listening to your faith, you're listening to affirmations, you're listening to things that are uplifting you. So I think that's incredible. All right. Carla Green said, good evening. Thank you, Carla, for tuning in. I appreciate it. And then let's see, Facebook user. See, here it just says Facebook user, but I wake up, stretch, hydrate, and typically get ready for work. I think that's fantastic. I think stretching is one of the things that most people don't do. I mean, if you can, I could probably do a poll and say, when's the last time you stretched? And like, I don't know, 80% of people will be like, oh, I haven't stretched in such and such. Like someone else did one, they said, when's the last time you ran a full sprint? And pretty much most people could say never, unless they were already into fitness. So that's pretty good. That's a good routine. One person says, I wake up, pray, say my affirmations, do 100 push-ups, then start planning my day. I wonder if I can pull this up and actually see who's saying this. Let me see. So I think, oh, that was Ira. Oh, thank you for tuning in, bro. I appreciate you tapping in. I think that's really good. And watch motivational videos. I think that's really good, actually. That's a great way to start the day, especially with the 100 push-ups. You're praying, you're saying affirmations. I think that's a fantastic way to start your day because you're getting your mind in the right place. You have to reinforce your mind. You have to prepare yourself for what's going to come throughout the day. And a lot of people don't do that. They just go through the day and they have, no type of reinforcement. So they have no foundation to pull from because, they haven't prepared. They went straight into it. The social media, let's see. It says, if I don't have to go to my 9 to 5, I wake up, hydrate, clean up a bit, work out or read. That's fantastic. I think that's a great way to start your day because you're already preparing yourself. You're getting into the right mindset. You're working out, you're reading, you're educating yourself. That's awesome. Let's see. Somebody says totally agree. Oh, that was Candy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. Let's see. It says I've been wanting to wake up a bit earlier when having to go to a 9 to 5 job. Although most of the time I wake up around 4:25 a.m. for work. So it sounds like you have to pretty much work really early in the morning. You probably have to be at work like 5 a.m. or 5:25 a.m. if you're waking up at 4:25 to be there. But that does make sense if you have to wake up a little bit early to go there. It makes sense. And then it says, good evening. I begin with prayer, meditation, then review of priority tasks first the day, then block out strategic time from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., which is when I make calls, send emails, texts, etc. See, and that's fantastic because you're being intentional about your day. You're being intentional about the time that you're blocking off. And I think there's a lesson in that. So everyone's basically sharing that they are intentional about where they're moving throughout the day. So when they wake up in the morning, they're intentional. They're saying, hey, I'm setting aside this time to meditate, to pray, to work out, to do these different things. And me, myself, I've done so many different routines in the morning. So I've woken up and I've just been silent for like 30 minutes. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to meditate. I'm just going to sit here silent. I've woken up and I went to the gym, left the house, literally went straight to the gym, worked out, came back home. I've woken up and I've read, for 30 minutes to 45 minutes straight. I've woken up and I've read the Bible specifically, and I've prayed. And that's the routine I'm currently on. I'm currently on waking up, speaking to God first, giving him the first 10% of my day. Not exactly 10%, but my first part of my day, I'm giving to God. I'm reading, I'm praying, I'm going through my Bible, and I'm asking him for guidance. I'm asking for the Holy Spirit to just be within me and to guide me throughout the day and my decisions and make sure that I'm, in tune. So that's the first part of my day at 5:30 when I first wake up. Because if you guys have noticed, I used to post, I would say, hey, good morning world, everything at 5:30 when I woke up, and I'll post that and I would get right back off and I would get back to in my routine. But now I don't really say good morning post until, I don't know, like 6:30 or 7 sometimes, because I am switching from getting on social media immediately and switching it to, I want to focus more on my routine, and I'll get to social media when I get to social media, as opposed to that. Somebody just commented and said, this is so good. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys tapping in. Okay, that was Candy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the commentary. And thank you guys for tuning in as always. So when you're looking at your routines and your habits, I know we're talking about your morning routines and things that you're doing, because I want this to be something that you can really take from. And you can say, you know what, I can implement this in my day-to-day life. I can change the trajectory of my life by doing these habits, by doing these things. So I read this book and I want you guys to check it out. It's called Atomic Habits. It's one of the best habit books I've ever read. And it's one of the books that really helped me fine tune and lock in and focus on what I wanted to shift in my own life. And it showed me the importance of it. So when you're trying to build a habit, you can't build a habit by sprinting towards it. Like, hey, I want to lose weight, for example. So I'm going to go to the gym every single day, every hour of the day, and make it happen like that. That's not sustainable because it isn't something that you've ever done. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a habit. It's not something you can just jump into. So when you're trying to do a habit, what you have to do is you have to stair step your way to it. So you have to first say, you know what? I'm going to start setting out my gym shoes. You got to really microdose it. I'm going to start setting out my gym shoes at this time. And I may go, I may not go. It's no pressure. But I set out my gym shoes though. Okay, then from there, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm just going to go. I'm literally just going to show up there. You don't necessarily have to work out, but you're just showing up. And if you show up most of the time, you're going to do something. You don't set a time. You don't set a workout routine like, oh, I'm going to do 30 minutes of this, or I'm doing an hour of this. No, you're just focusing on those micro behaviors. So the micro behavior is first putting out your shoes. The second micro behavior is, okay, now I'm just going to drive to the gym. I'm just going to go there. I'm not saying I got to be there for 30 minutes. I'm not saying I have to have a particular workout routine. I'm not saying I have to know exactly what any of this equipment does in this gym. I don't have to hire a personal trainer, none of that. You're not committing to anything extra into your life, into your routine. You're just committing to a micro action. And those micro actions is how you build that actual routine of what you're trying to actually accomplish in life. So you can't just jump from, just like everybody said, you can't go from A to Z like in a day. It's the same exact methodology when it comes to this, or ideology. You have to look at it as, how can I separate this? How can I microdose this to get to the objective that I want to get to at the end of the day? So if that was beneficial, let me know. I hope so. I hope it was beneficial. Just to kind of look at it and shift your mindset towards that. But somebody said it's a great book. Let me see. Hold on a minute. Alvin, I appreciate you tapping in, brother. I appreciate you tapping in. I didn't know you had came in. I you know what? I actually read your comment too, but it just didn't show me the name. But I appreciate you tapping in. But yeah, so if you look at things from that perspective, it definitely shifts a lot for you. So going back to your routines and your habits, right? A lot of people want to figure out, like, how do I take myself from, this time that I'm spending, or how do I get more time in my day? And I spoke on this before, but I want to kind of reiterate this. If you look at your day in its totality, right? So most people have, let's say, on average, 6 to 7 hours of sleep, right? On average, people say you should get 8 hours of sleep or whatever the case may be. Let's say you get 6 hours of sleep. So now you have let's say 18 hours left in the day. So you have 18 hours in your day. Now, most people work, so that's another 8 hours that's gone at that point. So now you're down to about 10 hours a day. So now, let's say, I don't know, you have, some people may work a second job. So even if that's 4 hours, so now you got like 6 hours at the end of the day. So you have 6 hours left out of the whole day with sleeping and working one job, and then possibly working a second job that requires like a part-time 4 hours. So now you have that. So now you're looking at, 6 hours. So now you're looking at 4 hours left in the day. So when you break it down and you say, okay, what happens to this other 4 hours that I have in the day? Like, what's feeding me throughout this day and what's distracting me? And if you really look at it and you say, okay, I'm on the phone looking at this. I'm on the phone looking at this YouTube video. Is this feeding me or is it distracting me? Is it elevating me? Is it taking me to another level? Or is it simply distracting me and not feeding me? You can easily identify that. You can say, I didn't learn anything from this. This didn't make me better. This just entertained me, but it didn't actually pull me up. It didn't elevate me. It didn't connect me with another person. It didn't expand my network. It didn't expand my mind. So if you look at things from that framework, then you can start taking the time and setting a table up and saying, okay, this side I have distractions. This side I have things that are feeding me. This side I have stuff that's actually elevating me. So when you look at your whole day and you say, okay, I'm going to literally take apart all the things that are distracting me and start moving these slowly out of my routines, out of my habits, so you can achieve whatever goals you're trying to achieve in life. But you have to be analytical enough to understand and self-reflect. This isn't me looking at your life or judging your life or anything like that. It's me telling you to look at your own life, have an honest conversation with yourself, and talk to yourself and say, okay, how can I maximize this time? How can I make this a little better? How can I shift the parameter of what I have going on right now? How can I be more efficient with my time? And we're all susceptible to that. We're all susceptible of being on our phone a little longer than we need to. Let's say on social media, scrolling or watching a show, binge watching a show, or whatever, Netflix, documentary, whatever, like any of that stuff. We're all susceptible to that. So it's just about finding where you can get those pockets of extra time into the day. When everybody says everyone has the same 24 hours, yes, but does everyone efficiently utilize that 24 hours that they have? So 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Are you working outside of the 8 hours, like on your business, on your goals, on your dreams? So that's kind of trajectory that I wanted us to go into when it comes to some of the content. And I want you guys to let me know, just so we can all share this, what type of content are you guys currently consuming on your daily? So when you're looking on social media, what type of people are you following? What type of content are you trying to consume that is helping you progress? Because we're going to help everybody. And whatever you guys comment, I'm going to share it on the screen so other people can tap in and other people can look into them and see, like, you know what, this person's really good. They're giving me great information, great insight, let's say on meditation or on fitness or on health, whatever the case is. Comment and let me know. Comment and let me know. Here we go. So I'm just popping up some of these comments right now, making sure I didn't miss anybody while you guys are commenting that. And let me know. It's strange. Carla's actually popped up, but no one else has popped up as far as the name. I noticed that. This is kind of odd. She must have StreamYard. That might be why. People who have StreamYard, I think, pop up. All right, so it looks like no one has anyone to add. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to shout out some people that I actually listen to there. So one of the people that I'm tapped into and that I like and I enjoy his content, and it could be kind of harsh for some people, is David Goggins. I really enjoy his content. He's very matter of fact, straight shooter, in your face. He lets you know how he feels, and he lets you know how to achieve what you're trying to achieve at the end of the day. So success isn't by accident. Success happens because of the actions, your routines, and your habits. So that's one of the things that I always tell people, like, check out David Goggins. He's dope. He's really good. Check out Myron Golden. Myron Golden is excellent. I mean, he teaches everything from a biblical standpoint, which I love, because it just shows you that wealth is there. If you're tapping in, if you're reading, if you're paying attention to what has already been put in the Bible. So I think that's really dope. I would check on that. Tips on building wealth and having a wealthy mindset. I think that's great. So you know what? I'm not sure if you were saying you wanted me to discuss this or not, but I am going to discuss this because I just feel like it's just a dope topic to talk about. So when you think about, and I've talked about this a lot, but when you think about people that are successful and people that aren't successful, there's a lot of different variables into that. And we're not going to get into all the minutiae of all the different variables that comes with that. But one thing I will tell you is that when you have a victim mindset, that means that you're blaming outside exterior forces for things that are happening in your life all the time, you'll never succeed. And I hate to say that. And I hate to say it like, I don't want to say it harshly, but that's the case. Victim mindset people, they don't succeed because they're constantly blaming external sources for their problems, for their woes, for anything that's going on in their life. When you have an abundance mindset, everything shifts in your atmosphere. I was talking to a friend earlier, and one of the things that she mentioned was, what story are you telling yourself? Like, so if something is, let's say, negative for you, if something is negative for you and you're not seeing the benefit or the fruit of whatever that is, instead of telling yourself, you know what, this isn't beneficial for me, this isn't great, you can change the story. You can say, you know what, this is building me, this is building my character, this is building my integrity, this is building my perseverance. You're changing the story now. So now you go from being a victim of the situation to being an overcomer of the situation, all because of the story you tell your mind. Your mind is so powerful. Your mind can make you sick. Your mind can make you healthy. Your mind can make you, have wealth, all off of having that mindset. So when you look at an abundant mindset, like, for example, and people always give us this one, but I'm just going to say it anyway. But if you look at a water bottle and you say, okay, it's half empty or it's half full, right? So now the water bottle is half full in your mind because you have an abundant mindset. It's half empty if you have a scarcity mindset. And I always kind of associate that to people who have victim mindsets as well, because and you see this all the time. You see people, they'll blame the government, they'll blame their problems, they'll blame their past, and everybody has a sad story. No one cares about that sad story until you're successful. And once you're successful, that's when people care about whatever that sad story was. So Giannis just came out with the documentary. He had a very sad story, but now it's a fantastic story, and people want to hear about the sad part because it turned into success. Now it's motivating. But if it's just sad, no one really wants to hear about it. And it's crazy because it's just so many sad stories that's going around anyway. So let me see. Somebody just tapped in. Candy, appreciate it. Come on, sir. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, that's just one of the things, man. So like they said in the comments, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. This is on you at the end of the day. You're the only person that's going to bring you your success. You're the only person that's going to bring you out of whatever situation you're in. Don't depend on anyone else. Don't lean on anyone else to do it for you. The only person you can lean on is God. That's it. But outside of that, you got to get to it. You got to be focused. You got to understand that it's you versus you at the end of the day. No one can stop you from achieving whatever you want to achieve. They can only hope to slow you down. So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, like, if you had that mindset, anything that happens in your life, you're like, you know what, it's on me. I'm about to overcome. I'm about to make it happen. You'll shift everything. Even when I used to be late to work sometimes, I used to say, I never made an excuse. I never said, you know what, it was traffic or it was this. It was always, you know what, I should have left early. I put the blame on myself because I wanted to shift my mindset to saying, you know what, I don't want to blame something else that happened. It was on me. I should have left earlier. Had I left earlier, I would be here on time. I may be here early, but I would have been here on time. So it's like that shift in my mindset, even down to something simple like that, helped me start taking ownership for everything that was around me. And when you take ownership of everything around you, you feel like more in control. You feel more of a abundance because you're like, you know what? I can do anything. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I can change anything just because I'm taking ownership of it. Nothing's happening to me. Everything is happening for me. Everything is a benefit to me. Whatever's going on in my life is a benefit to me, regardless of how it looks right now. And that's how you have to think of it. So regardless of, you know, if you made mistakes or you're not perfect, no one is. No one's perfect. Everyone's made mistakes. You have to own that. You have to own those mistakes. You have to keep it moving. So that's what I would tell you in regards to that. I think that was great though. I appreciate you chiming in with that because that was a dope topic. That was a dope topic to kind of hit on. So going back to the content creation piece of it, how many of you guys are looking to be content creators? How many of you guys are content creators currently? Because I want to kind of dive into that a little bit more, just because I feel like that's the area that most people can benefit from long term and make a lot of money from, just by putting content out. Because everyone needs to hear your voice, regardless. Your blessing of who you are is for other people. And I talked about this before, but excuse me, that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't get. A lot of people don't understand that by them doing what they're supposed to do is blessing so many people. And by you not doing it, you're hurting other people. So your inaction is hurting other people. And I've talked about that before, but that's one of the things that I want people to really get. Ashley, I appreciate you tapping in. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate it. So we're going to dive in a little bit more into the content creation space. I want you guys to understand like how simple it can really be for you. So right now, you guys just heard me talk for 26 minutes. I've been talking, discussing my thoughts, my ideas, my ideology, my approach to life for the last 26 minutes, right? And all right, so this looks like spam, but we're just going to ignore that. We're going to keep it moving. But anyways, so for the last 26 minutes, I've been discussing my thoughts, my ideology, my approach to life. What I want you guys to understand is that with content creation, and I've talked about this at the beginning of the live, but with content creation, you can literally take this live and chop it up into 20 different reels. So now I'll have content for the entire week. I still have content for my other lives I did for the entire week based off of points that resonate with people. And any of these clips could pop off. It could go viral. It could be content. So it's the same thing for you. Yes, I have a cool setup right now. I have a camera I'm talking into. I have my lights. I have my microphone. But if I just had if I was just in my car and I was able to talk and have a conversation, same exact thing. So whenever you got off of work and you're getting off work in your car and you're ready, you had a crazy client or a crazy customer, crazy situation, or you just had a thought just throughout the day, you can literally just pull out your phone and start recording and talking and saying, you know what, I think this is crazy today, or I think the P. Diddy situation is ridiculous, or whatever the case is, right? You're able to just to comment and add your commentary to it, add your voice to it. If you feel like Michael Jackson's estate being sold to Sony now that he's passed away is crazy, you can share your thoughts on it. If you feel like Apple's car that they were supposed to be making, it was they were working on it for the last 10 years and they literally just discontinued it. After 10 years, they said, you know what? It doesn't make sense anymore for us to do this because at $100,000, our profit margins aren't high enough. Then cool. If you feel like Bitcoin going up, you know, crazy or whatever right now, and you made some money off of it and you want to make some content on it, literally pull out your phone while you're in the car. As simple as that, because it's good lighting, it's good acoustics, and you can record and say, hey, I just made money on Bitcoin. I feel like Bitcoin is doing this, this, and this is great. Or even if you're not knowledgeable and you're just like, man, I invested something into it and I ended up making money. It's crazy how we can make money today and how before we didn't have these opportunities. There's your point. There's your hook. There's your video right there. There's your content. So when I talk about content creation, I really want to encourage you and motivate you to create the content, because a lot of people aren't encouraged. A lot of people feel like it's a difficult task, but just getting on here talking isn't hard. It's so easy. Like, because I'm talking to you guys. So it's like, you guys are talking to me. You guys are giving me the content to pretty much talk about. At the end of the day, I have like an idea of what I want to say, but you know what I'm saying? Let me see. We just got a comment. I desire to put out more content, especially on the topic of financial literacy. Awesome. I think that's, Alvin, I think that's incredible because you're extremely knowledgeable when it comes to that. So what I would challenge you to do, Alvin, is I would challenge you to go live for 30 minutes to an hour a day, and not a day, a week, and literally just come on here, answer people's questions, invite people to the stage. And that's what I actually want to do. So maybe in my upcoming lives, I want to actually invite people to the stage. That way you guys can talk and you guys can conversate as well. You know what? I think I'm gonna put the invite link here. Let me see if I can do that. Guests can stream this in their own destinations. Send this link to your guests. You may also want to share instructions. So let me see if I put this link in here, if it'll actually work. There we go. So I literally just added this link to the thing. I wonder if it'll actually work. But if you want to join this live right now, click on that link that I just shared. You got to have your video on, and we can talk about your business. We can talk about your journey, your entrepreneurship, whatever. I answer any questions that you have, but you got to have a video because I want the I want the video to look good. So I don't want it to be like I'm just talking to a blank face. So if you can click on the link, you can definitely join the stage, and we can chop it up. We can talk about your business. Let me see. Hold up. Alvin, thumbs up. For sure, bro. Because at the end of the day, Alvin, like you're so knowledgeable when it comes to financial literacy. You can talk about that all day. You can talk about it in your sleep. And one of the first lives I did, I talked about find something that you can passionately talk about for 30 minutes straight, unprepared. And financial literacy is definitely one of those things you can do, Alvin. So if that's the case, get on here and make it happen. It says the link is not available. Is it not available because it's not letting you click it, or is it like a copy and paste thing? Maybe. Let me see. Let me look here real quick. Pin topic. Can anybody else copy and paste that link? Drop in the comments. Okay, give me a second. Copy. I'm gonna try to drop it in the comments here. Let's see if it works. All right, I just dropped it in the comments. Tell me if you guys got it. It popped up on my end, so let me see if you see it on your end. Oh, it's not letting you guys click it? See if you can copy and paste it. If it'll let you like copy it. Hold on, let me see. Here we go. I'm trying to see if anybody can get onto it. So what I did was I just sent that over to Andrina. I sent it directly to your inbox. And also Alvin, I'm gonna send it to you too. So Alvin, if you want to jump on, bro, I would love to have you and we can definitely talk. We can definitely discuss it. Here we go. All right. Okay, awesome. We'll definitely love to have you on the next one, brother. All right, Andrina, I just sent it over to you, so you can let me know if you can hop on. All right, so, but yeah, if anybody wants to hop on, let me know. Let's chop it up. Let's have a conversation. Here we go. All right, that's good. I don't know, did it work for you? If not, I mean, it may be something different. I'll figure that out later. If you know guys aren't able to join right now, I'll figure it out. That's not a problem. But so after this, what I normally do is I usually get on live and I pop on and I discuss my topic. So today was about, routines, habits, establishing routines for success. That was the topic today. And then afterwards, right after this, I jump onto a podcast and I do a podcast. So that's more content. So Wednesdays, I pretty much dub my content creation day. And I create my content to where I'm good for the rest of the week. Or really 3 weeks, I'll be good off this content because I can upload a video every single day. And then with the podcast, I'm uploading a video every single day. So let's see. Andrina says, I am not ready. I don't have on my lipstick. Mr. Canyon, I ain't ready. Next time, sir. Okay, awesome. So everybody that's on here right now, next time I do a live, which will probably be like next Wednesday, I want you guys to be ready to hop on get on camera. It doesn't have to be super professional or anything like that, but you need to have a camera, you need to be on video, and we'll discuss your business. We'll talk about it. I'll give you a free coaching session just right here on live. We'll talk, we'll discuss it, we'll chop it up. We'll have a good conversation. And hopefully that conversation helps other people that are tuned in as well. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be engaging. I think it'd be cool because I genuinely want these lives to help people at the end of the day, whether it's a business owner, entrepreneur, or if it's just someone that's a full-time employee that's trying to invest and take it to the next level. So the last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with before I hop off, because I have to jump on my podcast that I do, but when it comes to investing, how do you guys invest? I'm gonna let you guys answer before I tell you what I recommend when it comes to just investing in general. What are you guys currently investing in? Is it real estate? Is it stocks? Is it cryptocurrency? Is it sports betting, which really isn't investing, but you get what I'm saying. Like, what are you guys investing in currently for the long term? Are you investing in businesses, car washes? Like, what are you guys investing in right now? Now, I'm gonna tell you what I feel like people should be investing in when it comes to their money or disposable income. I'm gonna give you guys a couple seconds before I go into it. So hold on, I'm trying to pull up this thing real quick to see if I can find the stock. Okay. All right, cool. So Andrini says stocks. So when you look at investing, I always tell people that when you're investing in something, you want to invest in something that you're actually knowledgeable on. So if you wear Jordans, if you wear Nikes, invest in Nike because you're knowledgeable on it. You understand it. You understand the marketplace. It's something that you like, especially if you're buying it in surplus. That's Nike, right? Or if you enjoy something like, I don't know, almond milk. You buy almond milk all the time. Find the company who owns it, who makes it, creates it, see if they have a public IPO already done, initial public offering. They're on the stock market, and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? Invest in that. Invest in things that you're knowledgeable on. Don't invest in stuff that you have no idea about. Don't invest in stuff that somebody just tells you like, hey, it's a penny stock, go invest. Get knowledgeable on whatever that is before you invest your money into it yourself. Don't trust someone else's judgment when it comes to that sort of investment. When you want to invest your disposable income, you may only have $100 extra a month that you can invest in something. So make sure that that money is working for you. Those dollars are going out and they're bringing more dollars back. And the best way to do that is be knowledgeable about the investment that you're making. So like I said, with the stock market, understand the company that you're investing in. If it was your friend's company and they came to you and they said, hey, I want you to give me $100 like to invest in my company, and you have no idea what their company is, but they're like, hey, it's going to be hot, it's going to be good. Like, that's not a good investment because you have no idea what the company is. You need to learn. You would ask questions to your friend. So you do the same thing with the stock market. If it's a company that looks like, if somebody's like, hey, go check out this company, you need to invest, understand what the company is. Like, understand the market cap, understand the cash they have on hand, understand the debt that they have as a company. You can easily pull this stuff up and read it. It takes time, I understand, and it may seem overwhelming, or it may seem difficult at first, but I want you to really take your time to understand what these companies are before you just throwing your money at it, okay? That's the last thing I'll tell you guys before I hop off, because I got to jump on this podcast live too. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And next time, like I said, I want to call people on stage. So be prepared. I'm going to call you on stage, and I want you to, and I'll figure out the whole getting people on stage, sending the link, that whole thing. Utility companies are great investments. That's what's up. Yep. I appreciate that. That's my pastor, actually. I appreciate you tapping in. Thank you. So great teaching. If she says it's a great teaching, then it definitely was a great teaching. So I appreciate it. But like I said, next time I'm going to call people on stage. We're going to talk. We're going to discuss. I'll talk about whatever my topic is initially that hits me and I want to discuss. But then I want to bring you guys on stage so we can talk about your companies, what problems you're going through, and how we can solve them. Okay? I appreciate it. Y'all hold it down. Have a good Wednesday. And on Friday, make sure that y'all tell my wife happy birthday, because it's her birthday. March 1st is the day. Peace.